Hi everyone, it's Nubian Sun, Ra, back with another video. And I just had to finish my sentences from the last short video that I made. What I was saying was, that's a journey within itself, taking accountability and being able to see, what's your blame to carry, what's your burdens to carry, and what's not your burdens to carry, and releasing it, And it's important to give people their accountability, whether it's asked for or not. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. Like typically, people will keep everything inside. If you're growing, or if you've noticed that there are people around you that have not evolved, or they are not aware of themselves, or not changing, it's a lot of times hard for you to express yourself to these people about, their wrongdoings towards you, or ones that you love. It's hard to express that without, blowing up, because usually if you try to explain it in a nice, common way, a universal way, they'll get very ignorant with you or brush you off, and things like that. Because, we can't make people do anything. People going to say what they want to say. They're going to do what they want to do, So that's fine. The goal is not to convince anyone, or to change anyone, or make them change, The goal is to maintain your reality. And your reality is not only within yourself. We carry it everywhere we go, So whenever we go around such people who are, just not on our vibration, we have a tendency to, not speak on things in a certain way. It don't have to be in a certain way, because a lot of people, they'll speak on things and they don't care how it come out. That's fine. That's totally fine. I don't have a problem with that. I'm just speaking on a specific way because I noticed that it is effective, And this certain way is just basically mirroring back to them exactly what they do. Most people, they do not take in information if you just tell them. You have to reenact it to them, or break it down to them in creative ways. A lot of people don't have time for that. They don't have an interest in that. They feel like if they're not already there, then screw them, That's fine. But this video and this opinion that I'm about to put out in some facts is based on my experience. So one thing, about people that is very obvious is that they don't like done to them what they do to others, So a lot of times you have to take the opportunity when it's presented. Whenever something happens where you can show them themselves, not do it in the way that they would do it though, it's a polarity to a way you could do things and still get your point across, because I just feel like I'm gonna give an example of this, but I just feel like, if we're going to heal in an unhealed environment, it's not fair for us to just have an experience within ourselves and not be able to make our environment a learning ground for ourselves and others, So, or a teaching ground for ourselves and others, That's just having an open mind, So, a way to, not shut yourself off and become isolated in that way to the point where it's like you don't want to, explain yourself or anything. You feel like that's what it is. Like, I'm not about to explain myself to nobody. I'm not about to make them understand anything. That's a different idea than what I'm about to explain, Okay, so for example, right? Whenever there is a situation where there has to be some type of balance on either end, people of the light use dark energy to bring balance and vice versa. In other words, like people of light might use dark energy to bring balance when you have to do something that people might say is out of your character, but it's not out of your character. You're transmuting energy. Like when you have to, chat somebody up, check them, in a way where it's like, to them, it's out of your character because we are all taught, not to get off topic, but I just want to put this sidebar in there. We're all taught that us all love and light and, religious beliefs, they really feel like, people of love and light are sacrificial because of the whole Jesus being put on the cross thing. So, yeah, they won't know nothing about love and light people transmuting their dark energy because if they're balanced, and using that to their advantage. But, having to pull somebody up or, defend yourself in a way that, you might have to, turn up on somebody and respectfully, But that's one example. But on the other spectrum, dark energy, they need to balance out, their energy sometimes too. So they use people of light to balance that energy when life get bad. When all that karma start beating their ass, coming back to them, all the energy they be throwing out keep coming back. They have to balance it. So how do they balance it? The hypocrites will pray, because all day they be playing with people that they're not supposed to be playing with. But then when things get bad, they pray. They'll befriend someone that have lighter energy because of some type of reason, need that they have, So all you have to do is use your position and use it in a way where you are not, this is not like a situation where you are withholding because you're angry or anything. This is not a relationship, you know. This is a situation where you are teaching people how to treat you. You're letting them know it's a fair exchange. You don't just get to come and take and be yourself and get over, but you want to silence the next person. That's not how it works. You got to know your boundaries, set your boundaries, and then when you set your boundaries, it's not only for you, it's for everybody, you know, because they have no choice but to abide by your boundaries or find somebody else they could do that too, you know. That's first of all. But yeah, it's like a lot of times they don't like things that they do being done back to them, you know, when it's negative, and usually it is, you know. So what I usually do is, if they want to make fun of you with an underhand remark, you can do the same thing, you know, but not in a way where you're pointing out their what they call human mistakes, you know, because the things that you're going to point out is obviously something that they can change and refuse to change, you know. That's not a human mistake. That's allowing what they call the devil to use you, you know. Stating the obvious is one thing, but stating something that is deeply rooted in you know, truth is another, you know. Or when, you know, they want you to be reliable because you're always reliable. It's part of your character, you know. All you gotta do is stop riding for them, see what they're gonna do, you know. And a lot of times they'll get angry and things like that, but the whole point of the healing mission is to get rid of toxicness in your life that is unsustainably non-useful and burdening, you know. And that's in any situation, you know. Some situations it may be harder than other situations because, you know, people love to take their little bit of power that they may have in some way, shape, or form and use it against you. But that's the risk that you're willing to take. When you are doing right when you are doing right in life and doing right for yourself, things will always turn out okay for you. It might be hard sometimes, but you know, it's life, you know. And at the end of the day, that's truth. You know, that's exactly what needs to be done. And a lot of times, you know, it'll be a whole lot of mockery going on, and they'll try to get other people and recruit other people to hate you, and they'll spread lies and, you know, do all the unfair things, all because of the fact that you are not enabling them and you are speaking your truth, putting your foot down, you know, giving them their accountability. You know, certain individuals, they don't like that. You know, a lot of people these days have narcissistic personalities or are full-blown narcissists. whether they're aware of it or not, and sometimes it just take someone to bring it to their awareness. A lot of times people be like, oh, that's not part of your job description. No, it may not be. But one thing that is a part of, a job description of a person of light is to be yourself. And to be yourself, it automatically is going to be giving people their accountability. Speaking your truth, speaking the truth, all the things they don't like anyway. So they have to stop using that as an excuse and just admit that they just don't like you when you are being yourself, and they want to change you into something else so they could be comfortable. They want to put a muzzle on you, or they want you to dim your light, But, yeah, so that's that. But it's just, a lot of times people don't really realize, like, you can't really be your full self, like reach your full potential and heal at your full potential when you are suppressing things that you want to say, that need to be said. There's nothing wrong with saying it, but it's just a people-pleasing thing. Like, you don't want to upset anybody, or it's safe and content within yourself, to the point where it's like you don't really care if anybody else got it. You got it. Fuck everybody else, or that, So it's like a lot of times people don't really realize that just being able to, how can I explain this? Test out, or test out, your healing abilities. Just being able to get a feel of, what it's like to actually have an environment where it's safe for you to be yourself and be able to fully grow and experience. We can do that regardless of who we are around. A lot of people be afraid to do that because these people, I made videos about this before, how they gang stalk and, make trouble for you in your everyday life. But I just feel like it's time to stop being afraid, and the time has come where it is not easily hidden anymore, that there are differences in mindset and energy. The separation is actually happening. It's like always been there, but it's like actually something that's going to be not only non-televised, but it's televised as well. Like, it's actually something you can turn on the TV and it's not subliminal. It's actually on the TV. Those times are coming because we're in a shift, So eventually, even if people are afraid, they won't have to be afraid, because there'll be a spot there for them to where they can proudly say, you know, I'm a child of the light, without feeling like there'll be any type of consequences of any kind from people that hate. You know, if the government can do it by giving the LGBTQ community rights for marriage, to be able to come out of the closet and say who they are, then light barriers can do it as well. You don't have to be put in a box under some type of Cleo, calm me now, or